Hello, everyone. This is Danny Cohen, and welcome to the foil for your Dallas Stars fix. The Dallas Stars beat the Seattle Kraken as Casey DeSmith goalies the opposition with 30 saves on 31 shots. Jamie Benn travels with the team to Canada. So let's take a poll in the comment box. Who sits in the press box when Jamie Benn comes back? I want to know what you think. Put the name below. And we're also going to talk about how good this team is in this little snippet here. Before we get into it all, I'd like for you to subscribe, share, comment in the box below, like this content, help me get some more engagement. So Casey DeSmith, he looked focused, tracked the puck well all night. Really gotta like what you see there. Without Casey DeSmith, this game goes a completely different way. If we got anything like we got from Ottinger in the last two games, this is an L. So he did great. What a fantastic job he did. So Dallas has 7 more turnovers than the Kraken, 8 more giveaways. So we get outshot 31-24, and Casey DeSmith saves the day. He's got a 967 career save percent against the Kraken in 5 games, which is incredible. That's on par or better, actually, than some of the best series that we've ever seen, save percentage-wise, in the playoffs from Marty Turco, Ed Belfour, and Jake Ottinger. So you can't get much better than what he has done against the Kraken. The Dallas Stars go 1 for 3 on the power play versus the Kraken going 0 for 3. We win the specialty teams battle, and we're now 6th in the league in points with 21 points in 16 games. On the flip side of the coin, we've got the same number of wins as the 17th ranked team in the Red Wings, who have 9 wins, the same as us in 16 games, same as us as well. Going back to the good side, we've got 9 points in 9 of our last 10 games. On the I don't know how good we are side, this is another 1-goal win. Every one of Dallas's 9 wins, if you count the empty net goals that we racked up against Minnesota, 2 of them, if you count all of our wins, they've all been by 1 goal. So our last pointless game came against Anaheim, who has won 7 in a row. They're the hottest team in the league. So that points to this team being a very good team. We've beaten 2 of the top 3 teams in the standings, as well as goal differential between Colorado and Carolina. And then on the I don't know what to make of this, we still have a goal differential of -2. Colorado just beat Edmonton by 8 goals the other night. So, if you count all of those wins by 1 goal, the Colorado Avalanche almost caught up with that in 1 game in blowing out Edmonton, who's a pretty good team. But we also beat Colorado, right? So, I don't know. We've got a worse goal differential than the 28th ranked team in Columbus, who we lost to 5-1. What do you make of that? We've lost to the Blues, who's the 2nd worst team in the league. We barely beat Nashville the other night, who is the 3rd worst team in the league. And then throw into the equation that most of this data comes without our half of our top 6 and our number 4 defenseman in Nils Lundqvist. So solve that riddle for me, if you would. How good is this team? I think that you got to say this is to be determined and that we don't have enough data. This team was made it to the conference finals last year, so you know that we're a pretty good team, but how good are we? Anybody's guess right now. Um, we've we got a great game out of Leon Bischel, who was skating well from the opening face-off drop. He looked crisp. His shooting looked good. He had his biggest hit of the year and made some good defensive plays. If you get a game like that out of Leon Bischel on a consistent basis, man, have you got a good one, and the kid is still so young. Lindell, interestingly enough, I was looking at the numbers, is +5 on the year. He's never one of those players who really stands out a lot in terms of his offensive production, but he is our best defensive defenseman, and he's doing it that this year quietly. So Ernie is our next best at +1, oddly enough, and Ernie has done a great job of coming in with all of the injuries. I mean, he made the team out of camp, and he brings some heavy play, and yet he's only had 2 penalty minutes on the season. When I look back at his career, he never has more than 30, 40 penalty minutes in the NHL, so he manages to play a fairly physical game. I mean, he's not out there being a wrecking ball per se, but he's throwing his body around, and he doesn't do it in a way that lands us in the box. So there is definitely some value there. Miro Heiskanen, for his part, keeps racking up the assist. He gets another one on the night. He's on a 72-point pace for the year, which would be one shy of his previous best. He has 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points in the last 4 games. By my math, that's 2 points per game, and that's Connor McDavid kind of numbers on his best year. So he's been lighting it up here recently offensively. Wyatt Johnston keeps scoring. He's on a 51-goal pace for the year, just doing an amazing job. Sagan gets another goal on the night. He's looked very good in this early season, and he's hit a lot of posts. Imagine if I think he's got 5 goals on the year, and imagine if he hadn't hit a post or two there. I mean, he's really, for a player that just came off of hip surgery last year, you couldn't really ask for more of that guy. Pretty good stuff. Having Hintz back has helped. It's really given us a lot more speed. Teams have got to respect our transition game when he is out there, and it's just great to have his presence back on the ice. Robo, on the other side of things, his shooting is just off this season. He's only got 3 goals on the year. He's on pace for something like 15 goals, 16 goals. It's just, it's a little bit disappointing what we're seeing out of him. He looks pretty decent out there optically, but he's just not producing. And man, would it be nice to get him back on track. I think Seattle did a really good job to keep our shots on goal low throughout the game, and we still managed somehow, some way to beat them, which is the recurring theme that we have seen throughout the early season this year. So let's get into the game and how it played out. Early on in the game, Jaden Schwartz gets the opening goal off the D-zone faceoff. Seattle works it to the point, and that shot is deflected. High tip by Jaden Schwartz. I don't know how you stop that. You can't put that one on DeSmith. It is what it is. It happens. We come back, and Wyatt gets a slippery zone entry through some heavy Seattle traffic, and then we have some sustained pressure in the O-zone. Heiskanen at the point passes to Robo, who makes the accurate soft pass around the Kraken player to a Wyatt Johnston, who's in bumper position, and he manages to, so he's facing the shooter with his butt towards the goalie, He taps it to himself as he spins around, puts it on his forehand, and and scores the goal under a diving Murray. Just amazing, subtle, soft hands by Wyatt Johnston. Most players in the league are not going to make that. He does, and he continues his torrid pace. It's another power play point by Wyatt. He and Miko are in the tops of the league in that category right now. We've got power play goals in 5 straight games. Where would this team be without our power play this year? Especially at home, where we've got just incredible numbers. I think it's still over 40% at home. Um, I, I I saw Marchment with a big hit on Hintz in front of the Kraken net, which sent him flying into the post. Marchment had a physical game. You kind of knew that was coming when he was gonna come and play his old team that traded him here. Um, Good to see him out there and doing well. Bischel had a great defensive stop, a poke check of the stick in front of a mostly open net, which, if the guy had gotten to it and it could have been a different game altogether if Bischel doesn't do his job and break that play up. Um, this is where he has his biggest hit of the year in this period as well, an open ice on Eberle, who is their leading scorer on the early season. No response by the Seattle Kraken to that hit. Well, maybe, as we'll talk about a little later, but really not the response that if you're a Seattle Kraken fan you'd like to see probably when your leading scorer gets absolutely decked by Leon Bischel. I thought this was Leon's best period of the year here in the first period, and the Stars later in the period go up 2-1, which would end up being the final score of the game. 30 seconds left in the first. The Miro gets the puck with a long pass to the D zone to a Star in the neutral zone, and the puck clicks off a Kraken player onto the stick of a charging Sagan, who taps it under the stick of a Kraken player to himself, and then gets behind the opposition and ends up going wide to the left of the goalie, who he's sprawled out, right? Matt Murray is sprawled out on his stomach, and as Sagan is at an almost impossible angle, Murray's feet come up off of the ice, both of them just a little bit, and Sagan flips the puck underneath him. I don't know. Um, I think we probably got a little bit of luck that his feet came up there. I don't think that was something he intended to do. And, good on Sagan to get it on net. Just an incredible hand-eye coordination from him. Maybe a little bit of luck too. If that's the case, we'll take it. And we end the period with some momentum. These end of the period goals, beginning of the period goals, they can just kill the opposition, and that ended up being the difference maker in the game. So in the second period, Bischel takes a high sticking. There was a little blood, and Seattle tries unsuccessfully to sell it as a double minor. On the penalty kill, the Smith stops a puck from distance and then makes a difficult rebound save. Just looking very good all game, keeping track of where the puck was. His reflexes were sharp. I didn't see a whole lot of him swimming around like we do sometimes in these games. So just looking A game DeSmith the whole way through. Um, Thomas Harley takes a delay of game penalty as he sends the puck into the stands, and the Kraken get a 5-on-3 for 25 seconds. We get through it. We get through the remaining 5-on-4 as well. So the penalty kill looked good, which has been sort of a sore spot for us this year. So it's good to see him go 3 for 3 on the game. Robertson misses a good power play chance. He just can't score for his life right now. And we go into the third period. It's still a one-shot game, as pretty much has been the story of the Stars season. Beniers takes an early holding penalty on Rantanen. Rantanen at the same time takes a holding the stick penalty on Beniers. So they send both of them off. It's 4-on-4. At the time, I thought maybe it was going to be an embellishing call, but they got him for a holding the stick. It's a little bit of a weird scenario there. Um, Bach gets pickpocketed in the D zone, and Heiskanen takes a slashing call after breaking a Kraken stick, and we end up getting through it. DeSmith has a lateral save on a Kraken power play here on Beniers. Um, these are the kind of saves that a smaller goalie like DeSmith is more apt to make than a bigger goalie like Ottinger, where we see him taking a little bit more time to get from post to post. It's just physics. When you're that big and you weigh that much, it takes it's harder to move across as quickly to get all of that mass in motion. And DeSmith being the smaller goalie that he is, that's in his wheelhouse to make those kind of stops, and he does. So Seattle's out shooting the Stars 26-18 in and around this time, and 10 minutes left in the game. I'm thinking to myself that this is way too much D zone time and shots against us. The ratio is not sustainable. There's a really good shot by Matt Murray on Wyatt on another Miko Wyatt attack. Those two just look fantastic together. And on the same shift, Johnston misses the net on a prime opportunity in the slot from the no look behind the net backhand pass from Mikko Rantanen. Maverick Bork does this same kind of play too. Those two players have very similar playmaking styles, and I think that having them together and Bork learning from some of the things that Mikko does will make him that much better of a player. So, some opportunities that we had that were missed to maybe put that buffer in this game that we just can't seem to do. But here we are again. Then Steele falls in the ozone a little later, but battles to prevent the turnover from his knees. So, Steele doing more Steele things here. He does so much good work in and around the puck, away from the puck. He's just a solid player to have all around. A versatile Swiss Army knife that you can play up and down the lineup. Every team needs a guy like Steele. Harley takes a shot to the instep in the later stages of this game and skates off. I think he's okay, but you got to hold your breath on that one. And it seems like every game we have a hold your breath for injuries kind of moment right now. Um, then Bichel tries to hit Marchment in the D zone and gets absolutely leveled. Marchment's a big boy. He can throw that weight around. If you can send Bichel to the ice the way that he did when Bichel's coming for you, that's a big, strong dude. And there's a lot of things about Marchment's game that I didn't like, as far as the penalties that he would take, and I didn't feel like he brought enough of the physicality for us last year. He was on point tonight, so good for him. And Ritzkovian draws another penalty. Ritzkovian is finding ways to contribute to this team each and every game, whether it's scoring, sticking up for a teammate, playing in the later minutes of the game to prevent the game from getting tied up or us losing the game. You see him in those big positions. I think this kid is here to stay. I'm not sure that he's ever going to be necessarily a big point producer, but he's that kind of player like a Sam Steele or a Colin Blackwell that you can use in a lot of different situations, and it's good to see somebody like that carving a spot out on this team. We get a big power play. We don't score on it. Riker Evans shoves Rantanen after the whistle, and Rantanen gives him a slash. The players come together to chat after this one, and Rantanen gets away with this. Lucky that we didn't get another penalty that we had to kill. Um, I thought that our power play looked good there on the one that we didn't score late in the game, and it keeps rolling. So towards the end of the game, DeSmith with another lateral moving stop, this time on Marchment with about 4 minutes left. The Dallas Stars hold on to win this game. Let's go, boys! And the Stars are now in sole possession of second in the division behind Colorado, who has 25 points to Dallas's 21. Chicago is behind them with 19. All of those teams have played 16 games, so we're starting to see just a little bit of separation and a little bit of shaking out here happening in the division. Such a difficult division. Both wildcard teams are from the Central, as it was last year in the playoffs. Just a nasty division to be in. Murder, death, kill, year in, year out. So we go to Ottawa next to play Brady Tkachuk, who is one of my favorite players in the whole league. And then we continue our East Coast swing to Montreal, Philadelphia, New York, with Jamie Benn on the trip. Let's go, let's go. Let's get him back in there. I miss the captain. I hope that we get some vintage Jamie Benn and what may be his last year with the Stars here. In Montreal, we have Ivan Demidov, one of the best players in the league. In Philadelphia, we have Matvei Michkov, one of the best players in the league, young players in the league. And then we have another one of the best young players in the league that we go to next when we play the Islanders in Matthew Schaefer, who went first overall as a defenseman in last year's draft. So we have a lot of fun games, difficult games in a lot of ways for us to play here on this road trip. I look forward to bringing you guys more content. Don't forget to let me know who you think comes out of the lineup when Jamie Benn comes back. Is it going to be Adam Ernie? Is it going to be Ritz Kovian? Is it going to be Oscar Beck? You tell me. I look forward to seeing what you have to say about that. Until next time, this is Danny Cohen from The Foil. You guys have a good day.